Okay. I don't know how to edit, so we're just gonna get the whole thing. So.
You can't post this whole video.
Yes, I can, and I will. It's authentic. It's us.
Welcome to our authentic podcast.
Hi, my name is Kallie,
I'm Cadence.
and welcome to Silly Gooses for God.
Yes, we know it's not gooses.
We know it should be geese, but that's just silly of us. That's why it's Silly Gooses.
That's just not us. So this is why it's our authentic podcast. So what are we talking about today, Miss Kallie?
We're going to talk about why we do what we do, why we do missions, why we work in ministry, and how we got here, basically. We figured we should start the basis of our podcast with how we got here, so we can show you why you should trust us when we tell you what not to do at an airport, or how to set up missions wherever you're at. That's what we're doing. And we'll see how it goes. And if nobody watches, I'm gonna watch on my other Instagram account, so we'll get
Yes, and just how we navigate, life as a Christian in general, especially on campuses and la universidad.
We definitely live out that Geico commercial of it takes a thing or two to know a thing or two. That is us and our walk in ministry. There's not much you can throw at us that we haven't seen at this point. So we definitely want to share our knowledge that we have to help people out there who might want to get into missions, because just a couple of years ago that was us, and now the Lord has blessed us with this beautiful ministry that we're a part of.
Kallie, who are you? What do you do?
My name is Kallie. Hi. I was the director here at the PCM at UVAY, so Baptist Collegiate Ministries. I was director here for 4 years. Did not start off that way. I was just a person coming to Bible study, and then the previous director left, and there was a hole to fill, and I felt the calling, so I said yes. When I started, it was just me and Caleb, one other person, and it was that for a really long time. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I just wanted double digits so bad. And it never happened, and I was like, God, what am I doing? But we kept showing up, and eventually we started to have a good group of like 5-6 people. And then I worked my first summer at Student Life Camp, and then I came back and I was like, well, I feel really, really called to missions. And so I started looking for a mission trip, and we set up a trip to the Dominican Republic, and we took 9 people on our first trip. And the Lord has just turned this small prayer and this one yes and obedience into, now we've taken over 50 people on mission trips, which is actually insane to say that out loud. And we have 2 international trips a year with Belize and the Dominican Republic, and there's 3 Bible studies a week. There's men's, women's, and then group, and each one has, golly, a ton of people. And we saw the first ever baptisms on campus this past spring. I think, how many people got baptized in the spring?
I think it was definitely like 5 that one night.
5, and then there was another one where it was like, I think like 8 or 9 people got baptized in the spring, and then we just had a baptism this fall of 4 people.
It was 4, and then the next day we did
1, so 5.
Yeah.
So already just seeing the Lord move in just mighty ways, and we definitely saw that shift when we stopped praying for numbers and just praying for the Lord to send who we could care for. And that's just where it all changed. What I do now since graduating, I definitely thought I was going to graduate a lot sooner than I did, but I switched my major and I ended up staying for the master's program. So I was here for 5 years. And the year I thought I was going to graduate, I was praying very heavily. I was like, Lord, I don't want to walk away from this ministry without you giving it somebody to take over. And literally the next day I met Cadence. And she was the first person to ever ask me about my job, which had never happened before. And I was like, whoa, here she is. And so ever since graduating in May and just like handing everything over to Cadence, I work in full-time missions now, which is actually crazy because I used to pray to be a missionary. I was like, God, I'll drop out of college right now. You ain't got to test me. I will do it. But he allowed me to do both. And so I work with a company called Vision Trust. I'm the short-term missions and partner relations manager. So I help colleges and churches go on mission trips all around the world, and I get to work with really, really cool churches just talking about missions and sharing the gospel that way. And it's literally insane to me that that's my job and that I've just got to witness God in this way. So that's definitely me. the SparkNotes version. Cadence, who are you and what do you do?
Wow, I'm so glad you asked. But I think it's important to know that you work for the company that you first went.
Yes, our first ever mission trip, we literally Googled mission trips during the dates of our spring break. And we looked at like 40 different trips. And we eventually, we were literally about to quit because we couldn't find anything. And then like one of the last ones we looked at, we submitted the interest form to Vision Trust. And I remember when I met the incredible woman who had my job before me, she recently retired, hence how I have my job, how I met her. And I was like, if your job ever opens, please think of me. And when she left, she thought of me. So that's crazy. That's a great point. Totally forget that.
No, I can't forget that because I think that all the time. It's like you wouldn't even know the company or have your career if you didn't seek out to do missions. Yeah. And it's just such a beautiful testament to what he has done and what he was doing then and is doing now. And it's just like how so intentional it is, like in your story. But a good reminder, looking back, of how intentional he is with everybody's story, not just like yours, but like even our own. So she was praying for numbers and didn't know why they were getting them then, and then you went on a mission trip and now you have a whole career out of that same company.
It's crazy.
And
Only God.
like,
Only Jesus.
so intentional, right? But like his will be done, and you wasn't gonna stay another year, but you did, and you're like, wow, so intentional. So wait and be patient because it will happen on his timing, and I think that is important because I don't really want it to be my timing. I do in the moment and in my flesh, but spiritually I don't because I know it'll be better if I wait.
Makes me think of Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time for everything, and he was definitely right in his timing. So, but who are you and what do you do? I need to know.
Hi, I'm Cadence. I am a third-year college student here at the college. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be. You can guess by my outfit. What am I studying, guys? What am I studying?
Is it marine biology?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. It might be the glasses. That could be a good hint. But so I'll let you wonder. So I'm a student, and like she said, we work together now. She is my advisor and mentor in this as I'm learning and growing on what we need to do with studies here on campus, missions, fellowship opportunities, and all of the things. If you can't tell, I'm from a small town, from my accent. But I think that adds character and personality, and I wouldn't change it any other way. That's me.
What do you do here, though? Like, what's your job?
Oh, well, I'm also a cheerleader, so I do that. I do that. I work at a coffee shop as well, so you know we got to keep it busy and well-rounded a little. So I am planning missions.
Yes, she is.
I'm learning confidence, guys. I'm planning some missions, and we have men's Bible studies and group Bible studies and women's Bible studies. I do the women's Bible studies, and that's what I do, guys.
And she does incredible. She does them so well.
It is kingdom work.
Yes,
so
it is.
It's so great. But also being a student, I mean, I don't want to limit myself. Like, you're not just a student. I don't just plan mission trips. I don't just do Bible studies. Like, it can be life-changing for somebody. Like, just for one person who shows up and is just presented with the gospel. Or, like leaving stickers in the bathroom. Like, just plant little seeds throughout the day.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think that's been instilled in me that I've tried to instill in Cadence is we do it for the one. It doesn't matter who shows up, as long as one person's in the room, we're going to give it everything we have. And because that's what Jesus does it for. He does it for the one, and all the things. As long as one person gets to know Jesus and gets to glimpse into the salvation that he offers, like, oh my goodness, we're going to be that light. We will be his reflection. We will do whatever it takes for them to know him. So, Cadence, for our sign-off, what is your missions tip of the day. And I will share mine. I just totally sprung this on her with no planning. This is our first time, okay? We're new to this.
Yeah, but just to add, we're doing this to give you more information about, like, I guess missions and, like, what we're doing, but also, just to be someone, to be like, hey, like, the Lord is actually working, because sometimes we're in a season, it's like, well, I don't really see you moving, I feel like I'm all alone, like, what is going on, you're not listening to me. He hears you loud and clear. I mean, he's working in all around you, and I think what he's doing here, and I pray like in other campuses as well, is just growing his ministry, and having people be leaders and step up into that, and work for his glory and not our own, and just to give you some wisdom, because sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
Just a little woman podcast, because who doesn't love those?
Yeah, because when we started missions back in end of 22, early 2023, we haven't been doing it long, but oh my goodness, we've gone to the Dominican 3 times, Belize about to be twice, back to the Dominican in March, and then just like our own little adventures that we'll keep you on the edge of your seat for later episodes for. We've definitely learned a lot of things along the way. We do not do missions the same way we did the first time around. Like, we made a lot of mistakes, but we have learned, and we want to share that wisdom, so when you go, you're like, okay, what do I not need to pack? Actually, what do I need to pack? Can I wear this? Do I need to take extra socks? Or liquid IV, is that a good idea? Do I need to pay for a carry-on? Like, all these things that, like, we just didn't know, and there wasn't anything out there for us to look up. Like, there was nothing for us to really have a guide for or seek out wisdom, like she said. And so we're just providing that, all of our tips and tricks. And like what she said, like being a student on a college campus that is a public institution,
Liberal arts,
is very, very hard. And it's very, very hard to be an outspoken and bold Christian in this environment, especially when you're a woman in ministry, and even like when you hold a title. Because like, while we don't do any of the work we do for our titles, we live in a worldly place. People are going to look at that, and then the enemy's going to try to use anything as a foothold. And so just like, how did we navigate that? Because trust, we have faced backlash. We have faced a lot of, I've personally faced a lot of bullying, a lot of hate, and a lot of terrible, terrible things. Because I was a woman, because I worked in ministry, because I was in leadership. But honestly, that's just living out the gospel. We were never promised easy. We were promised life like Jesus. And all they're doing is just showing that the gospel is true by their behavior, because they're living out what the gospel says, is that you will be persecuted for your faith. And what a joy it is to feel that. And we've seen people come to faith because of it. And if that means one person knows Jesus, we would do it all over again. So that's kind of what this space is for. But Cadence, what's your one missions tip of the day?
I would say,
bye! That's Zach. He runs our men's study.
I would say to do it for the one.
Do it for the one? Gosh,
Since we were just talking about it, but yes. Do it for the one. That's why we go on missions, me personally. You don't know what you're going to see. And Belize was a testament to that too. It was somewhere new that we went. It was our first time there, and it was honestly like I'm not sure like why we're here. And it was unsure. And then that was later revealed in like a couple days later, and it was like, oh, this is why I'm here. And so even if you're questioning, oh, like I don't know why I'm at this job or why I needed milk all of a sudden, maybe you needed to be in that store for a reason and have a conversation. So yes, be obedient and do it for the one.
That's so good. That was low-key gonna be mine. I would say my one missions tip for today, if you feel called to do it scared. Fear is not a fruit. I remember the first time we went on a mission trip, I was terrified. None of us had ever been out of the country. We literally had no idea what we were doing. We were running on a prayer. Like, I'm not even joking. And I remember my biggest thing, I was so terrified to check bags. I did not want to check bags. I told everybody, you're not checking a bag. We're not doing it. Because it was like the one thing for the trip that I was able to control. We got to the airport, got through TSA and security. Everything was great. We were at our gate, and then they told us we had to check our bags. And I flipped out. I said, no way, we have carry-ons, so we need to check them, da-da-da-da-da. They were like, long story short, we checked our bags. And I remember sitting there being like, God, are you so for real right now? Like, I did not want to check bags. And he was like, you're trying to control this, and it's not yours. He was just like, this trip is not yours to control. Missions is not about you. Ministry is not about you. It's about the one that you're serving. It's about Jesus. And he's like, I need you to trust me with every single thing. And so from that then on, we always check bags. We check a bajillion bags now. But I did it even though I was scared. I went to the Dominican even though I was scared. I go on missions even when I'm scared, because I know my Heavenly Father and his fruits are more abundant, and I've seen the obedience that one yes can lead to. I've seen the fruit. But it's also like, I don't need to see the fruit. Like, we don't need to see it anymore because the fruit belongs to the Father. So I think my biggest tip is, if you know for a fact that you're calling, do it. Even if you're scared, if you're afraid that your family might be upset, or you're going to lose friends. I don't know the situation, but you might lose friends. Your family might not love the fact that you do missions or that you love Jesus, but you're just being a reflection of him and you're living like him. And you're being a light. So you never know what the Lord's going to do with one yes. So that would probably be the biggest tip that I could give.
That's a great one. Be uncomfortable.
You don't grow when you're comfortable.
That's right.
If I got anything, it's one-liners and like, what do you call them? This is going to be so silly. What do you call things when you like group things together to make examples? What is that called? What is that called? This is why this is called Silly Gooses, because sometimes we just can't think of it. What's it called when you like, this is gonna be so silly when we watch it back, we're gonna be like, duh. Like, when you like put things together to make an example.
Gather? Grouping?
No, or I'm like, hey, if you think of this, I do it all the time. I'm like, hey, what if like we did earlier with the paper, what would you call that?
Gathering, getting together. Pick it up.
I don't remember what it's called, but I do that a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe tune in next week. And I'm like, guys, remember that one part in last week's video? I sat down and thought about it, and this is what it is. So, or, put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. That'd be so awesome. Please. I don't say please and thank you. I say peas and carrots. So, peas and carrots.
And with that, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you. Yeah, that's right. Next time. Because who knows? Okay, goodbye.
Adios, amigos.